Alien vendor said, "Buy one get one for two girls." The human took both alien princesses. The interstellar market of Lyris port never slept. Lights floated in the air like small stars, and voices from 100 species mixed into a low, constant hum. Metal walkways crossed over deep cargo bays, and the smell of spice, fuel, and strange alien food filled the space. Traders shouted offers, machines beeped, and travelers hurried past, each focused on their own survival. Among them walked a human named Aaron Hale. Aaron was not important in this place. He wore a simple jacket, old boots, and carried a small pack over his shoulder. He was a cargo runner, moving supplies between systems for fair pay. He avoided trouble, avoided politics, and avoided attention. In a galaxy full of powerful empires and dangerous secrets, Aaron preferred to stay invisible. He had come to Lyris port for one reason only: to buy fuel cells and food packs for his ship and leave before night cycle. As he moved through the market, he noticed something that did not fit. Near the edge of the trade zone, an alien vendor sat behind a low metal counter. His species had blue-gray skin and 4 narrow eyes stacked in pairs. Around him were cages, small and large, filled with creatures meant for labor contracts. Most were animals or simple worker species, but 2 figures stood outside the cages. They were young, very young. 2 alien girls stood side by side, their hands clasped tightly together. They wore plain cloaks, but their posture was straight, proud, even in fear. Their skin shimmered with a soft silver tone, and faint glowing marks curved along their temples, marks Aaron had only seen in history files. Royal marks. Aaron slowed his steps. The vendor was talking loudly to passing buyers. "Cheap today," he said in broken trade speech. "Strong workers, loyal, buy one, get one free." A group of off-world traders laughed and walked past without stopping. Then the vendor gestured at the 2 girls. "These 2, he added with a sharp grin. "Special offer, take one, get the other free, no return." The words hit the air like something rotten. The girls stiffened. One of them lowered her head. The other stared forward, jaw tight, eyes burning with anger and fear mixed together. Aaron stopped walking. He told himself it was none of his business. Markets like this existed everywhere. Interfering could cost him his ship, his freedom, or his life. But his feet would not move. He watched the girls more closely now. They were not begging. They were not crying. They were standing the way soldiers stood before execution, quiet, controlled, refusing to break. That was not normal. Aaron stepped closer to the counter. "What are they?" he asked calmly. The vendor's eyes brightened when he saw a human stop. "High-value look, low-value trouble," the vendor said. "Lost goods, no papers, no claims. You want one, strong minds, learn fast." "They're children," Aaron said. The vendor shrugged. "Old enough. Market law." Aaron looked at the girls again. One of them finally met his eyes. Her gaze was sharp, intelligent, and tired far beyond her years. Not a worker, not property, royal. "What happened to them?" Aaron asked. The vendor waved a hand. "Not my problem, bought from scavengers, political mess. I sell, I move on." Aaron felt something tighten in his chest. He had grown up on a forgotten colony world where people were often treated as numbers, not lives. He knew the look of someone who had learned too early that the universe could be cruel. "How much?" Aaron asked. The vendor leaned forward eagerly. "Price for one, other free, today only." The girls' grip on each other tightened. They did not speak. They waited. Aaron reached into his pack and pulled out a credit chip. It held most of what he had earned this cycle. Enough to hurt, but not enough to ruin him. He placed it on the counter. "I'll take both," he said. The vendor blinked, then smiled wide. Smart human. There were no cheers, no applause, just the quiet sound of the transaction confirming. The vendor unlocked the restraint bands on the girls' wrists and shoved them forward. "They're yours now," he said. Aaron picked up the chip scanner and looked at the vendor hard. "They are not mine," he said evenly. "I paid to remove them from your care, nothing more." The vendor snorted. "Call it what you want." Aaron turned away before anger could pull him into trouble. He gestured for the girls to follow. They hesitated. "Come on," he said gently. "You don't have to trust me, just walk." Slowly, they followed him through the market. People stared, some laughed, some whispered. No one stopped them. They reached a quieter corridor near the docking bays. The noise faded into a distant echo. Aaron stopped and turned to face them. "My name is Aaron," he said. "I'm a human. I'm not your owner. I'm not your master." The girls looked at each other, confused. "You're free," he continued. "I bought your release, that's all. If you want to leave, I won't stop you." The taller girl spoke first. Her voice was soft but clear. "Free to go where?" Aaron paused. That was the question, wasn't it? "I have a ship," he said. "Food, shelter, time to think. No chains, no orders." The shorter girl studied him closely. "And after," Aaron said honestly, "you decide." Silence stretched between them. Finally, the taller girl bowed her head slightly. "Then we will stay, for now." Aaron nodded. "That's fine." They walked toward his ship, a modest transport docked among larger freighters. It wasn't impressive, but it was clean and well kept. Inside, Aaron handed them water packs and nutrient bars. He stepped back and gave them space, sitting across the room with his hands visible, non-threatening. They ate cautiously, like people who had learned food could be taken away at any moment. After a while, the shorter girl spoke. "You knew," she said, "didn't you?" "Knew what?" Aaron asked. "That we are not ordinary," she said. "I suspected," Aaron replied, "but it doesn't matter." The taller girl lifted her chin. "We are princesses of the Illyrian crown." Aaron nodded slowly. "Then someone will be looking for you." "Yes," the girl said, "and others will be hunting us." Aaron exhaled. He had hoped for something simpler, but the universe rarely offered that. "You're safe here for now," he said, "but we'll need a plan." The girls exchanged a look. For the first time, something like hope flickered between them. Outside the ship, the market continued as always, loud, careless, and cruel. Inside, a single choice had changed 3 lives. And Aaron did not yet realize that by taking both girls, he had stepped into a story far larger than himself. Aaron's ship left Lyris port quietly, without alarms or drama. The engines hummed low as the docking clamps released, and the massive market station slowly drifted away behind them. From the cockpit window, it looked small and harmless, like a shining jewel in space. But Aaron knew better. Places like that swallowed the weak and rewarded the cruel. Inside the ship, the 2 girls sat side by side on the floor of the small living area. They watched everything: the lights, the walls, the soft vibration of travel. They were calm on the surface, but their eyes followed every sound. Aaron kept his movements slow and clear. He adjusted the course, then turned back to them. "We're heading to open space," he said. "No one tracks traffic there. It'll give us time." The taller princess nodded. "Time is something we have not had in a long while." Her name was Lyra. The younger one was named Sira. They spoke carefully, like people trained to weigh every word. As the ship entered faster travel, Aaron prepared simple food, nothing fancy. Warm grain packs, fruit gel, and clean water. He placed the food on the table and stepped back. "You don't need to hurry," he said, "and you don't need to thank me." Sira looked at him. "Why?" Aaron paused. He leaned against the wall, thinking. "Because helping someone shouldn't come with a price." The girls exchanged another look. That answer clearly did not match the world they knew. After they ate, Lyra spoke again. "Our world fell into conflict after our parents were removed from power," she said quietly. "Some wished to control us, others wished us erased." Aaron listened without interrupting. "We were smuggled off-world for protection," Sira added, "but the ones hired to save us sold us instead." The words were calm, but the meaning was heavy. "I'm sorry," Aaron said. Lyra studied him closely. "You show sorrow without gaining anything from it. That is rare." Aaron gave a small smile. "I've met good people who had nothing, and bad people who had everything." The ship drifted in silence for a while after that. Then the alert chimed. Aaron's body tensed immediately. He moved to the console and checked the readings. A ship had entered nearby space. Fast, military-grade engines. Someone followed us, he said. Lyra stood. Her posture changed instantly, no longer a frightened girl but a trained leader. They will not attack yet, she said. They will try to reclaim us quietly. Aaron turned the ship slightly, adjusting its signal profile. Then we don't make it easy. A communication request appeared on the screen. No ID. Aaron did not answer. Moments later, a second ship appeared on sensors, then a third. They were forming a loose net. We can't outrun them, Aaron said calmly, but we can outthink them. He powered down several systems and let the ship drift, making it appear damaged. Then he sent out a weak distress signal, old, outdated, easy to misjudge. The trap worked. One of the ships moved closer, separating from the others. When it was close enough, Aaron restarted full power and shot forward at an unexpected angle, slipping through the gap before the others could react. Alarms blared briefly, then faded as the ship vanished into open space. Sierra let out a slow breath she had been holding. You planned that very quickly, Aaron shrugged. I've learned that panic never helps. Hours passed. No pursuit followed. They were safe for now. Later, as the ship cruised quietly, Lyra approached Aaron while Sierra rested. You could turn us over, Lyra said. Many would reward you, Aaron looked at her. And live with that, Lyra lowered her eyes. You are not like the others. No, Aaron said. I'm just someone who made a choice. Lyra hesitated, then spoke with great care. Our people believe humans are unpredictable. Aaron smiled slightly. That's fair. Days passed. The girls relaxed slowly. They asked questions about Earth, about human customs, about why humans valued choice so strongly. Aaron answered honestly, never exaggerating, never hiding the flaws. Eventually, they reached a neutral system governed by independent worlds, safe territory. We can contact allies here, Lyra said, people who still believe in our family. Aaron nodded. I'll help however I can. When the call was made, it changed everything. The truth of their capture spread quickly. The vendor at Lyra's port was arrested. The smugglers were exposed. Galactic authorities could no longer ignore what had happened. Representatives arrived days later in official ships, banners glowing with Illyrian symbols. Lyra and Sierra stood tall as they met them, no longer lost, no longer powerless. One official stepped forward. By ancient law, the one who protected the royal heirs is owed reward. Aaron stepped back immediately. I don't want titles or money or land. The officials were surprised. Then what do you ask? Aaron looked at the girls. That they live the lives they choose, not the lives forced on them. Lyra felt her chest tighten. She had expected many things from the universe, but not this. The officials nodded slowly. It will be done. Before they departed, Lyra and Sierra stood with Aaron near the airlock. You gave us more than safety, Sierra said softly. You showed us another way to rule. Lyra stepped forward and placed her hand over her heart in the Illyrian gesture of deep respect. Our world will remember your name, not as a ruler but as a guardian. Aaron felt uncomfortable but honored. Just try to make things better, Lyra smiled. We will. As their ship departed, Aaron watched until it disappeared into the stars. He returned to his quiet life afterward. Cargo runs, simple meals, long stretches of space. But somewhere in the galaxy, two princesses ruled differently because one human refused to walk past a cruel joke in a market. And that was more than enough. Iris Port. News traveled slowly to ordinary people, but power listened carefully. Stories spread of two lost royal daughters saved not by armies or treaties, but by a quiet human who refused reward. Some called it luck, others called it weakness. Those who feared change called it dangerous. Aaron Hale continued his life as before. He hauled medical supplies to mining colonies, food packs to storm worlds, and spare parts to stations that no longer mattered to anyone else. He kept his ship clean, his records honest, and his head down. But the galaxy had begun to notice him. One cycle, while docked at a quiet refuel station, Aaron felt it before he saw it. The air felt heavier, too many eyes, too much silence. 3 officials waited near his ship. They wore no royal colors, no military armor. Just plain robes and careful smiles. "Aaron Hale," one said, "you are requested." Aaron sighed inwardly. "Requested by who?" "By those concerned with balance," the official replied. Aaron considered refusing. But he had learned that avoiding truth never stopped it from catching up. "Fine," he said. "Talk." They led him to a private chamber. A hollow table lit up, showing Illyria and dozens of nearby systems. "Your actions saved 2 lives," the official said. "But they also shifted power." Aaron folded his arms. "I didn't plan that." "No," the official agreed, "but plans are being made now." They explained quickly. Some noble houses opposed Lyra and Sira's rule. Others feared their reforms, ending slave markets, opening borders, giving common citizens a voice. These changes threatened old wealth. "And you?" Aaron asked. "Why come to me?" "Because you are proof," the official said. "Proof that another way exists. And proof must sometimes be removed." Aaron felt a chill. "You're threatening me?" The official smiled thinly. "We are offering protection. Stay quiet, stay invisible, leave the systems near Illyria." Aaron stood. "I already live quietly." "But not invisibly enough," the official replied. Aaron left the chamber without answering. That same cycle, a secure message reached his ship. It was from Lyra. Her image appeared on the screen, older now, steadier. A crown rested lightly on her head, not as a symbol of power but of duty. "Aaron," she said, voice calm but urgent. "They will come for you, not today, not openly, but they will come." Aaron nodded. "They already tried to scare me." Her eyes darkened. "Then it has begun." Sira appeared beside her. "We can protect you," she said. "Officially." Aaron shook his head. "That would make things worse for you." Lyra was quiet for a moment. "You taught us that choices matter," she said. "Let us make ours." Aaron hesitated. He did not want to be part of politics, but he also knew hiding would not stop what was coming. "Tell me what you need," he said. What they needed was simple and dangerous. They needed someone the people trusted, someone outside royal blood, someone who had already shown the galaxy that power did not define worth. They needed Aaron to stand beside them, not as a ruler, not as a symbol, as a witness. Days later, Aaron arrived on Illyria for the first time. The world was beautiful, silver seas, floating cities, and open skies filled with light. But beneath that beauty was tension. Crowds gathered when he stepped onto the platform, not cheering, watching. Lyra addressed them openly. "This human saved our lives," she said. "But more than that, he showed us what we forgot, that dignity is not granted by birth." Some nobles turned away. Others whispered. Aaron stood quietly, hands clasped behind his back, just as he had in the market long ago. When the council sessions began, resistance was fierce. "He is an outsider," one noble argued. "He weakens tradition," said another. "He is a distraction," a third sneered. Aaron was allowed to speak once. He did not prepare a speech. "I don't belong here," he said simply. "I didn't save these girls because they were princesses. I saved them because they were people." Silence followed. "I'm not asking you to change because of me," Aaron continued. "I'm asking you to look at who you've become." That was all. The vote that followed was close, painfully close, but Lyra and Sira's reforms passed. Not because of Aaron, because the people watching had remembered something they had buried long ago. That night an attempt was made on Aaron's life. It failed, not because of guards or weapons, but because ordinary citizens blocked the attackers. Dock workers, farmers, students. People who had watched a human walk away from power. The message was clear. The next day the opposing houses withdrew. Weeks later Aaron prepared to leave Illyria. Lyra met him at the landing field. No crown this time, just her. "You could stay," she said. "Teach, advise." Aaron smiled gently. "I'm better at moving things than leading people." She nodded. "Still, the galaxy will remember you." Aaron stepped onto his ship. "I hope they remember the lesson instead." As he lifted off, Illyria shone below, changed but fragile. Far away, on forgotten stations and crowded markets, vendors watched humans a little differently. And somewhere, long after the stories faded, a quiet cargo runner proved that sometimes the most powerful force in the galaxy was a simple choice made at the right moment. Years passed after Aaron Hale left Illyria, but the effects of his choice continued to spread, quietly and steadily, like ripples across deep water. Aaron returned to the life he understood best. He carried medicine to border worlds, seeds to dry planets, and spare parts to forgotten stations. His ship grew older. So did he. His hair showed streaks of gray, and his hands carried scars from long workdays. But his eyes stayed the same, calm, observant, unwilling to look away from suffering. He never spoke about Illyria unless asked, and even then he spoke little. But the galaxy spoke. Markets changed first, slowly. Vendors became careful when dealing with young workers. Inspectors appeared more often. Some slave contracts vanished quietly, rewritten into fair labor agreements. Not because laws demanded it, but because people had seen what happened when dignity was ignored. On Illyria, Lyra and Sira ruled together. Not as symbols, but as servants of their people. Lyra focused on law and justice. She listened to common voices, not just noble ones. Sira worked with education and trade, opening paths for ordinary citizens to travel, learn, and choose their futures. They faced resistance. Progress always carried weight, but they never forgot the lesson learned on a cold market floor. That lesson had a name: Aaron Hale. One day, a message reached Aaron's ship while he was docked at a storm-battered station on the edge of known space. The signal was old-style, simple, personal. It was from Lyra. "Aaron," the message said, "there is something you should see." He almost ignored it. Politics were still not his world, but curiosity and respect pulled him back. He arrived on Illyria quietly, without announcement. No crowds, no banners. Lyra met him in a public square, not a palace. Children played nearby. Vendors sold food and tools, ordinary life. "This city was once closed to common people," Lyra said as they walked. "Now it belongs to them." Aaron nodded. "Looks alive." They stopped near a memorial. It was simple stone, carved with no grand images, just words. "To those who chose dignity when it was easier to walk away." Aaron read it slowly. "This isn't about me," he said. "No," Lyra agreed. "It's about reminding ourselves." They sat together on a low wall. "There are still those who fear change," Lyra said, "but fewer each year." Aaron smiled faintly. "That's how it always is." Before he left, Lyra handed him a small data chip. "What's this?" he asked. "A record," she said. "Not of power. Of choices." Aaron took it, then boarded his ship and left again, just as quietly. Time continued its steady march. One cycle, while delivering supplies to a remote mining colony, Aaron collapsed. His body, worn by years of hard travel, finally demanded rest. The colony had no advanced medical center, only a small clinic run by volunteers. They recognized his name, not from politics, from stories. They cared for him with patience and respect, just as he had cared for others. Aaron survived, but he knew his long journeys were ending. He sold his ship to a young cargo runner with kind eyes and steady hands. He kept only a small living pod on a peaceful station near a blue star. There he lived quietly. He watched stars drift. He spoke with travelers. He listened more than he talked. Sometimes visitors came, students, traders, even officials, asking about Illyria, about markets, about choices. Aaron always gave the same answer. "Do the right thing," he said, "even when no one is watching." One evening, as the station lights dimmed to night cycle, Aaron sat by a window watching the stars. A soft knock came at his door. When he opened it, two women stood there. Lyra and Sira, older now, stronger, wiser. "You didn't need to come," Aaron said softly. "We wanted to," Sira replied. They sat together sharing a simple meal, no guards, no titles. You changed more than you know, Lyra said quietly. Aaron shook his head. You did the hard work. You showed us where to begin, she answered. When it was time to leave, Lyra paused at the door. Our world teaches that legacies are built by rulers, she said. We have learned that sometimes they are built by ordinary people. Aaron smiled, tired but content. Ordinary people change everything. After they left, Aaron returned to his window. He did not know if the galaxy would remember his name after he was gone, but he knew something better. Somewhere, a vendor would hesitate before making a cruel joke. Somewhere, a child would be treated as a person, not property. Somewhere, a choice would be made differently, and that was enough. Aaron Hale closed his eyes, the stars reflected softly in the glass. The galaxy moved on, but it moved just a little kinder than before.